Yo! Today we're going to be doing a basic coolant change. This is a follow-on from my timing belt videos, which means this is essentially a bit of a test to see whether my water pump has sealed properly and whether I got that gasket in right. To test the car and see if it's all good, we need to get some coolant in there so we can keep it running for longer than a few seconds. And that's essentially what this video is going to be about. So first, we need to get underneath the car and we look at the radiator for a bleed valve. And as you can see here, it's this white wing nut.
Just unscrew that. Oh, god damn it!
There's a first time for everything, and that was my first time training coolant. That's a mess to clean up.
Open up your heater core, and to do that, you basically move the climate control all the way to the hot side. And that's usually an electronic control, so you have to actually turn your car on. And now we're gonna have to break the 19mm drain plug on the block itself, which is this plug right here. That one right there. And you just have to crack that. It's a 19mm, and make sure your collection tray is underneath. You can stop, there we go. So I gave the plug a quick little degrease and clean. That looks much better. There's definitely an oil leak somewhere down there. We'll clean that up later. That's a problem for another day. So we'll plug this back up and then we can begin the next step. Let's disconnect the coolant overflow reservoir. Take that out. Remove the bottle. In there like so. Here we've got some deionized water. And what I'm doing is I'm just gonna fill everything up with only deionized water, get the car started, and then drain everything again. This is just to flush out the system. I really should have bought some coolant flush, but I completely forgot and I don't want to go out, so all we're going to do is just fill this right up with water, start the car for a few minutes, let all the bubbles out and drain it and see what the water looks like. Okay, that's full. As you can see, the water's actually gone green because everything's cycling through. So it's going around collecting all the old coolant. I really should have used flush, as I mentioned earlier, but I don't have any. You can touch the radiator hose and you'll notice bubbles will start coming out. So what I'm going to do is wait for the car to cool down. I'm going to drain it and see what it looks like and probably do another cycle of water. And we'll just keep going till the water looks somewhat acceptable, and then after that we can begin the process of actually putting in some genuine Honda blue coolant. Okay, it's not actual Honda, it's Nulon, but it is blue coolant, which is what these cars require. Nice. It's good fun. I know you guys saw that waterfall, but I'm not sure if you guys saw just how clear that liquid was, which means it's closer to water than it is old coolant and gunk, which means we can now start putting in our fresh coolant. So we'll plug the drain holes back up and we'll start mixing our concentrate with some water. So I only found out that blue coolant exists a few days ago when I did some digging, because all the coolant I've seen go into Hondas and even the pre-existing coolant in this car was green. And after some reading, I learnt that green is not actually recommended for these Hondas, and what you need is blue, because it's silicate, borate and phosphate free, which is required by these cars. Otherwise those seals get damaged, I think, or something like that. But all I know is that this is the right coolant and it's what you should be using in one of these cars. So we'll go ahead and we will use a 50-50 mixture of this and water. Okay guys, so we're putting a litre of demineralized water and then a litre of coolant, because these are 2 litre bottles, and I'm just going to fill it up 2 litres at a time. Apologies for the motocross sounds. There's some hero in the background riding his bike, one of the neighbours. So the reason I'm using demineralized water is that it basically has gotten rid of all the metals, like the fluorides, the calciums that come in normal tap or hose water. You could definitely get away with using hose or tap water in a state like Victoria, because it's not actually hard water, unlike some states like Adelaide, for example. But yeah, I'm just doing it to be safe, and these bottles are really cheap. They're like $1 per bottle, so I figured why not. Don't forget to top up your coolant reservoir. So I've filled that up to almost the maximum line, and we can just fit that snug back in there like so. Great. This isn't a meth spoon. My climate control switch is broken, so I just had to use this to slide it over to hot, which is what you guys also have to do. And make sure your blower's on to probably maximum, and you just start your car and you keep it like so until it starts blowing hot air and for the radiator fans to kick in. And all the while we've just got to make sure we're topping up the coolant as the air bubbles start coming out. So you can see the air bubbles slowly escaping. So what I've done is I've actually topped it up completely and replaced the cap, because the coolant was boiling before the radiator fans came on, and that shouldn't be happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it continue to heat and continue to cycle the coolant through the whole system. So the fans did end up coming on. It's been idling for about 15 minutes now, and the fans have come on about twice. So that's a good sign. But I'm still just gonna let the car idle for a little longer. I've been keeping my eye on the temperature, nothing seems wrong with it. And after I've let it idle, I'll let it sit for a few hours, then I'll open up the cap and see what's happening. Okie dokie, it's been many hours. I've since gone to work and come back. So everything is completely cold. We open up the... I'm guessing we can put a little bit more in there. Top it up as need be. And there you have it. That's how I went about performing the coolant flush and change on my Honda Integra. It's by no means a comprehensive or accurate guide, but it worked for me, so if you guys want to follow it, feel free to do so. If you have any questions, shoot them my way and I will do my best to answer them. Now, I drove the car around for a couple of weeks, and in the first week I had a few droplets of coolant being left wherever I parked. Now, this scared me a lot initially, but it seems to have disappeared, so it must have been the excess coolant making its way out of the system through a seep hole of some sort. I don't know. The point is, it's not there anymore, so we're all good. The coolant flush was a success. The next video will probably be addressing the oil leaks of my car. They're not big, but they're still present enough for me to have to deal with it. So that's what'll probably come next. Thank you everyone for watching and for supporting the channel. Give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Everything helps. These holidays I've really been trying to make the most of my car and the free time, which is why I've put a lot of time and money into maintaining it so far. And why I've been releasing a whole lot more videos for Gutter Rash. So stay tuned, I've got more coming. Again, thanks for watching and I'll catch you guys on the next one.